Hello and welcome everyone, I am Madals and welcome to Day 4, Game 4 of Dignitas Week. And well, this is the final game, unfortunately, from Tefel. He is of course the red Zerg player in the top left. He's up against in his final game ImgHose. Hose, of course, the blue Protoss player in the lower right. I think you say it Hose. I'm guessing it is. Correct me if I'm wrong, of course. But well, obviously, this has been an emotional trip so far. Tefel has played really well. He's had some close games, he's had some back and forth games, and I am looking forward to how he deals in this final game of the day. And of course, if you've got here and you're a bit confused, hey, what is this Dignitas week thing? What's going on? What is it all about? Well, basically, this week I'm following one of Dignitas' players each day of the week, casting a few of their games. I've got an interview with them as well, which is linked to in the description of the video below, and of course in the Team Liquid thread, which is linked to below. Basically, it's a chance for you, the viewer, to get to know the players, their playstyle, their personalities, their thoughts on the game, etc., their careers, and just get an all-round picture of the pro gamer. So I hope you do enjoy. Let me know your thoughts, and if it is something you really like, I will look to do it for some other teams as well. And yeah, let me know what you think. Now, this game, obviously, it's going to be a ZvP, and so far we've got the pylon coming down on low ground. I think we'll probably see a Nexus first from Hose because, well, Nexus first is the safe way of doing it. It's not the safe way, but it's the safe way of doing it on this map. Ahana, narrow choke, you can comfortably get down a Nexus first. We're also seeing that there's a good number of minerals banked up there, so definitely thinking Nexus first right now. And, well, as for Tefel, he's getting up the pool first, which is very normal. Great little bit of probe micro here, mining from Tefel's base to just mess up the drone's AI. Meanwhile, probably going to come down here, start thinking about blocking the hatch, because Tefel going to be looking to take that really now. As you can see, the drone on its way down. Meanwhile, Nexus first coming down from Hose. The Overlord on its way in. We'll see no Forge. Nexus first. It won't come as a surprise though, to be honest, on this map. It's really quite likely to see that Tefel played more than enough to know exactly what his opponent is going to be doing in a situation such as this. So great work by this probe though, really blocking off that hatchery for a huge amount of time, which is going to be incredibly irritating, and it manages to get yet another block. This is absolutely insane. This is really delaying the natural base right now, and of course Tefel, the longer it goes down, the longer it takes to do that. Sorry for the coughing there. Slowly dying. But, well, a pylon block as well. The Zerglings are out. Will the pylon get cancelled? It should do. There we go. And, of course, now we will see the natural come down. But, of course, 4 Zerglings force. That's more than you would necessarily want. Starting work on the rocks already. And the probe coming down here to annoy the third base, which should be coming down, ideally, in about the next 20 seconds. So, that is potentially going to be quite a big delay on the economy, and especially when you consider that Hose went for the Nexus first. That means his economy is as good as it can get. He's getting the 2 gas up now. Obviously the gateway coming down, the photon cannon, the probe completing the wall off. But these Zerglings, they only want one thing: these rocks dead. But of course Zerglings take so long to kill off rocks that it may be a bit of a wait. Obviously the extractor coming down here as well for Tefel. Looking around, what else have we got? We've got, well, the cyber core. No real tech routes going to be displayed for quite a while because of course the cyber core is essential for them all, but the double gas happily mining away, and actually only 2 probes in each gas. That was some good little observation from me there, taking a quick peek at that. Now, that of course is less of a commitment, slightly more minerals are going to be coming out, so I'll be interested to see how Hose decides to deal with that. Now, obviously, this third base is now super delayed. Almost a minute over the normal time you'd see it, and this is all as a knock-on effect from that getting delayed. So good play by Hose at the moment, and seriously, he's going to be in a great economic position. If we look at the work account, 31 to 24 at the moment, so that is something that is not a comfortable position for the Zerg player to be in, especially when we're seeing the slightly odd 2 probe in gas drill, which means that obviously a lot more minerals is going to be coming out. The robotic facility on its way down. Meanwhile, these rocks desperately trying to go out, using the Queen. That's a good little trick that a lot of Zerg players forget to do, is why not use the Queen to help take down those rocks. Get the most worth out of it you can. The inject should be coming down as well now. There we go. Right on the money. Literally not even 1 over energy, so really good play there. The third base coming down as well. No +1 has been started yet, so that in itself is a bit of a tell. The third and fourth gas on its way down. Zergling speed just starting. The second gas just starting for Tefel as well. He's getting up his lair. The third base 3/4 done. These rocks are finally going to die. These rocks, they were started getting killed when this base started, so that is a long period of time to wait. The Rotoron on its way down. Now this is saying, hey, is Tefel going to go for some early aggression? He very well may, because he's got the lair timing. He's gone up to the 3 gas, and of course he's got the Rotoron coming down. Meanwhile, some more gateways getting added on. We've got the War Prism. We're going to see some dropping, almost certainly. We've got a good amount of gas banked up for the time being. That Overlord did manage to get away with its life. More Zerglings creeping across. Are they going to try and pick off the Stalker? That would be beautiful, but I don't think they are. The Probe, unfortunately, going to die. All he wanted to do was hold the Watchtower. These Zerglings, of course, do now have speed. They are not going to come in there because, obviously, there's a pylon, but the Zealot suddenly realizes that he needs to get there. The Stalker, going to be able to get back home safe as well. Now, of course, we've got an awful lot of probes on their way out, and drones on the way out. So, really, both players in macro mode. We've got the double Evo chamber and the Hydra Den. We saw this last game as well in Game 3 from Tefel, favouring this Hydra Den, and I really like that. I think that's a really interesting build. It's sentry drop. Oh my goodness, sentries and a Stalker. We've got more gateways coming down. Oh, this is scary. Tefel, he does scout it though with the Overlord, so of course he knows what is coming. He starts producing some roaches. He pulls back these Zerglings. Everything, that scout off, he was pretty much as ace as you could get. He knows this War Prism coming to the 3rd base. He can prepare himself the best he can, and of course, well, more roaches coming down, but a big drone wave coming. So that's slightly concerning, because while there are some Zerglings on their way through, the roach count not that high, and this is making me think, does he realise his roaches are out of position? Tefel could be allowed to lose an awful lot of stuff, and of course this War Prism is going to do some great damage. The Warping coming down. Tefel still hasn't reacted, and well, look at all of this. Some great force fields there, trapping so many drones. This is absolutely painful to watch. 7 workers killed super quickly there. We do of course have the Overseer getting a good little scout out. The Hydras are on the field, and well, the Hydra and Roaches with the 2 queens there should be able to deal with this, but need to be careful not to lose too many more drones, because that could cause some big problems. The Roaches are unfortunately getting focused. The Zealots pulling back, trying to kite stuff through, and of course Pickup gets the sentries and the Stalker out of there. So all in all, this was really cost effective for Hose, and he is going to be really happy with how that went. He does actually now take the worker lead as well, 60 to 55. More Hydras on the way out though. Of course the Hydras have now been revealed. The Robotics Bay just getting started, so Tech up into Colossi, ready to help deal that splash damage that will deal so well with the Hydras. But Tefel could very well try and push before that point. He does of course have the +1 melee coming out, the +1 ground carapace, Groove Spine just starting as well now, so in terms of upgrades, he's getting everything that he needs out to deal with this. But if his push hits after the Colossi come out, he could be in some trouble, because those Colossi are going to absolutely wreck the Hydras. So Creep Spread going really nicely at the moment. This War Prism back. The War Prism's back to do some more damage. Going to try and get some more kills. No force fields go down at the moment though. Going to have to get picked up ASAP. But still, it's pulling all of the Zerg force back, which Tefel needs to find a good way to deal with that. The first Colossi is on its way through now, so that is all good. The Infestation Pit is started, so just teching up quite comfortably, quite nicely. Of course, does have all 6 gas up, but only 1 drone in each gas at the moment. So needs to think about transferring some of this massive oversaturation into the other gas guys. In terms of oversaturation, 71. Where is he undersaturated? He's undersaturated at his natural, and he's saturated there. So he just needs to move some of these drones off in order to get them to the gas. That would be the important thing. But here we go. Tefel, he's moving across. Is he going to get the War Prism? It's going to be close. He does manage to snipe that off, and that was with the units still in it. So that was a good little win there. That was a lovely little engagement for Tefel. That is precisely what he would want to have happening here. And well, the Zealot, it's moving forward. Meanwhile, we do of course here see Hose moving back. He's trying to be as careful as he can. He doesn't want to engage too risky, because well, the Colossus is out. That is going to absolutely decimate most of the forces of Tefel, because he's got a very lightly armoured, light health point force, which deals a huge amount of damage. But with Splash, it's going to get destroyed. Now, looking round, what else does Hose have? Well, obviously getting up more Colossi, and that is pretty much it. The Spire on its way down for Tefel right now. He's got of course the +1 carapace, and about to finish, +1 melee already finished. No 2-2 started yet though. That is the only thing that I am noticing. He's getting road speed down now, obviously really just gearing up for the more later game engagements. Getting the Spire out in order to deal with those Colossi, teching towards Broodlord Infestor as well. So everything going how he wants. The 3rd base up though for Hose. So that basically means that Tefel needs to take this 4th base, and he's positioned his army in a way that he can deal with that. So obviously he wants to get that 4th out as soon as possible. I do apologise for the cough. My, of course, recovering cold is slowly killing me. But my throat, just, it's okay. It just occasionally tickles a bit, so I apologise if that's coming out too loud on the mic. I will try and die quietly. But, well, looking across here, what have we got? We've got more Stalkers. We've got more Mortars. We've got more Zealots. They're moving. They are poking and prodding. They're trying to deal damage to these creep tumors. They're trying to do the best they can. And really, Tefel, he just needs to buy his time. He's got the Hive coming out. He's got the Corruptors coming out. So he is getting this composition very, very similar to Game 3. Where, of course, he got the Hydras and really just relied on Hydra Zergling and the Corruptors to really focus down those Colossi ASAP. And it worked really well for him in Game 3, actually. So I'll be interested to see if Hose manages to deal with that. A front 4 pylon coming down, though. Coming up to take out the 4th base, which he assumes is going to be there. But Tefel staying on 3 bases for an awfully long time. And that is quite concerning to me. Because obviously the 3rd base is down for Hose and has been for quite a while. These warp gates need to be morphed in. And obviously, being on equal bases as Zerg is never fun times. The Observer giving detection, of course, to pick off those creep tumors. And, well, Tefel trying to get a nice round. Is he going to be able to do it? Yes, it looks like he will. This is a good little engagement right now. The Corruptors coming in at a nice angle. They're going to be able to pick off one of those Colossi very, very quickly. The second Colossus is taking good damage as well. And, of course, it's just so many units still on the field for Tefel. The force fields were quite nice, but look at him push through. He's going to be able to get so much here with the creep spread. Those Hydras move very, very quickly indeed. The Zealots trying to tank up some of the damage, but just with so many Hydras, they are doing huge damage. Tefel forced back for the moment. In terms of the loss tab, pretty damn even. The Warp Prism there, allowing a couple more Warpins, a load more Zerglings coming through though. The Colossi getting picked off was huge, and Tefel, he is really going to be able to move forward now and do a lot of damage potentially. So basically, Hose needs to make sure that he gets in a good position. He's getting out some Archons, of course. That is a good choice to deal with the low HP units coming out at the moment. Spine Crawlers coming down, keeping that drone count under control. Needs to make sure he builds a couple more, though, in the near future. Tefel, with a good bank, 2,000 minerals, 1,000 gas sitting there. The Great Aspire, just under half done for the time being. +3, nearly finished, though, for Hose. He's got +2 armor as well. That's compared to the 1... well, the 1-1 coming out, and of course we do have +3 ground attack coming, but only +1 carapace, so that is something that you do need to consider. Really, what are my upgrades doing, and how is that going to affect me in the later game? Now, for the time being, creep tumors are getting taken out. For some reason, Hose hates creep tumors. I can't blame him. He knows a lot of Hydras around, and they get such a good speed boost on creep. Meanwhile, though, we've got the Zealots loading up into the Warp Prism. Is this going to go for some drops? It potentially may. It's geared up over to the side here. Maybe going to go up into the main base. That could be big. Broodlords, though, are hitting the field, and well, once you start seeing Broodlords, you know you could be running into some problems. Meanwhile, Hose, he is getting up his Stargate behind this. That's really just taking up to Mothership. This Warp Prism, though, is getting spotted by all of the creep tumors, so I'm surprised that Tefel hasn't pulled back a few units in order to deal with this. Maybe he will shortly, but he's sending a couple of Zerglings over for the time being. He's going to come and deny this 4th base very, very effectively, these Zerglings. Of course, they are 2-1 Zerglings, and if they do have +3 on the way as well, so there goes down the Photon Cannons. A couple of Zealots morphing in as well, but well, that gets taken down quick. Meanwhile, Tefel trying to poke forward, but that is a big force there. I'm glad he didn't overcommit to that. Meanwhile, these Zerglings still poking and prodding, doing some damage. You've got Warping up here with Zealots, but not doing much. Here is the big engagement, though. And is it going to go? Is it going to go? Not quite yet, Tefel. He sees, well, Hose sees those Broodlords and is like, hell no, I am not dealing with that right now. And pulls back, tries to get safe. That Archon really nearly goes down, so that was a lucky save right there. Looking around, what else have we got? Well, we've got more Photon Cannons coming down, just reinforcing that 4th base. And of course, Tefel, now a base down, which is never ever a good position to be in as Zerg, but he does have a good army. He's sitting there with 9 Broodlords. No Infestors, though. That is the patch in effect. And of course, looking here, the Broodlords slowly sieging, moving forward. This composition, really, really unique. Zergling, Hydra, Broodlord, which is surprisingly doing an incredibly good job at the moment, and with the lack of Colossi out on the field, only the 1 Colossus there, it's good news for Tefel. And of course, he's moving forward. He's trying to get these Broodlords over the high ground so the Stalkers and Archons can't get underneath them. Trying to just bait them forward, trying to allow these Broodlords to get a couple of extra hits off. And Archon goes down there. That's always a nice trade. Being really, really cost effective here. Tefel is forcing his opponent to lose a lot of units for essentially nothing. But the concern when you get in this position is, what if Hose just decides to go and kill him? The Broodlords are very, very slow to get back. But of course, these Broodlings doing some good damage. And of course, the Spine Crawler wall there. That's why you build the Spine Crawlers if you are going Broodlord. And well, Hose really getting trapped in corner right now. The Broodlords are coming in. This is not looking good for the blue Protoss player. And is Tefel gonna get a win? He very well may here. The Spine Crawlers are gonna be the last thing that Hose wants to see. The Broodlords in range, and here we go with a big engagement. The Colossi getting taken down so quickly. This force completely surrounded. A great attack angle for Dignitas' Zerg, and well, this is very likely to be game right here, right now, because essentially there's nothing else left. Hose staying in the game though. I don't know. He knows there's not a fourth base. That could be his only reason, that if he picks off this army, maybe he thinks he'll be okay because he has got his own fourth base down. But these Corruptors are going to be able to snipe off that Colossi, and of course once that Colossus falls, that is really bad times, because as you can see, that now means that there's nothing to deal with these Hydras. No Colossi out. There are some High Templar. They are ready to, of course, warp in. The Storm not researched though, so Archons are the only route they can take. And this, guys, this is going to be game now. Tefel though, he's taking his fourth base. He's macroing behind this, even though he should know he's got the win right now. And this is a nice little closeout game for Tefel, showing his really unique PvZ, where he goes for this Hydra, Zergling, Broodlord, Corruptor force, which works surprisingly well. Actually, it's really nice to see that. So really just waiting for Hose to GG out now. There's no way he's going to be able to get back into this. He's 100 supply behind. Army supply wise, he's at a third, and yeah, this is really quite worrying, because when you see Hydra, Zergling, Broodlord crush what was essentially a mortal Stalker Colossi, you know the Protoss have got to suddenly find a way to deal with this, as opposed to worrying only about the Infestor. But well, as we can see, Hose probably going to have to GG out very shortly, about to lose his fleet beacon. Everything is pretty much gone. Some Storms do go down. The Storms dealing great damage to the Hydras, but of course the Broodlords are just far too great in number, and well, those Stalkers, while they are managing to focus down a few, it is all getting cleaned up. There is the game, and that concludes Day 4 of Dignitas Week. I do have one more game in store for you. I am going to reveal that tomorrow it is going to be the latest member of Dignitas, Orc. So make sure you come back tomorrow to see that. Check the interview from Tefel down below. Check the Team Liquid thread for all the days. And of course, watch all the videos to get to know all of Dignitas' players. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.